Hello friends, welcome today's lecture Direct and Bending Stresses. Myself, Mr. Y. S. Patil, Department of Civil Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yetrao. So in the last lecture, we discussed about a direct and bending stresses means a load acting on a section on the x-axis or on the y-axis. And at that time we calculate the direct stress and bending stress. By using the direct stress and bending stress, we can calculate maximum bending stress or sorry maximum stress and minimum stress, that is sigma max and sigma minimum. Now in this lecture we discuss about middle third rule or kernel of the section. This middle third rule or kernel of the section is only applicable for the square or rectangular section. Middle third rule or kernel of the section means what? At somewhat eccentricity means suppose the load acting at some eccentricity E, the intensity of the minimum stress becomes 0, means there are no tension induced in the section. So that section or that particular area is called as kernel of the section. Means we require to find such a eccentricity E value, so the total stress induced in the section is compressive one. So that's why we need to calculate that E distance. So let us see how to calculate or how to draw that middle third rule or kernel of the section. So this is a rectangular section having width B and having depth D, is subjected to P is equal to eccentric loading acting on the column. Then E is equal to eccentricity of the load. Then A is equal to cross sectional area. Basically, before starting the solve problem, we just understand that the minimum stress become 0, that is sigma minimum is equal to 0. Then it becomes sigma minimum is equal to 0, means sigma minimum is calculated by sigma 0 minus sigma B. So it becomes sigma 0 is equal to sigma B. Sigma 0 means the direct stress, that is load upon area, that is P by E. And sigma B is nothing but bending stress, that is M upon I into Y. So first consider load acting on the x-axis. So load acting on the, this is the two parts, load acting on the x-axis. If the load acting on the x-axis, then your bending occurs on with respect to the y-axis. So you need to require consider IYY, and IYY for rectangular section becomes dB cube by 12. Area of the section is B into D, and Y is equal to B by 2. Then M is equal to P into E. Then we know that the previous equation, that is sigma 0 is equal to sigma B. Sigma 0 is nothing but P by A, and area is B into D, and P is a eccentric load is greater than or equal to P into M. P into E is nothing but that is M divided by IYY. IYY becomes dB cube by 12 and Y becomes B by 2. So simplifying this equation, we got value E is equal to B by 6. Sorry, this is a B by 6. So this is the with respect to the x-axis. So B by 6 and B by 6. It becomes A to C distance is nothing but B by 3. Similarly, when load acting on the y-axis. So when load acting on the y-axis, then your bending will be occur on the x-axis. So consider now I-axis. I-axis becomes BD cube by 12 and Y is equal to D by 2. Once again M is equal to P into E. So equation is sigma 0 is equal to sigma B. So sigma 0 is P by BD and sigma B is P into E upon BD cube by 12 into D by 2. So E is equal to D by 6. So D by 6 from the CG to the D distance. Suppose CG is OD is a D by 6 and OB is equal to D by 6. So D by 6 plus D by 6 becomes D by 3. You plot all values, that is B by 6 on the right side of the axis, B by 6 on the left side of the axis, D by 6 on the upper side of the axis, D by 6 on the lower side of the axis, and join these all four corners. There is a rhombus is created. Means within this A, B, C, D section, whatever within this section load is applied, the stresses produced in the section is totally compression. Means when you cross the point A, B, C or D load, then it will be create tensile stress. Otherwise the total compressive stress produced in the section. So this is called as middle third rule or kernel of the section. Now in this section we can now consider for circular section, the kernel of the section or core of the section. For that circular section, that's why it indicates core of the section. Once again, the P is equal to eccentric load acting on the column and E is equal to eccentricity of the load. Then A is equal to area of the cross section. Once again, we need to consider the sigma minimum is equal to 0. So sigma minimum is equal to 0, it becomes sigma 0 minus sigma B. So it becomes sigma 0 is equal to load upon area, that is P by A, and sigma B is equal to M upon I into Y. Now first, for circular section, the area becomes pi by 4 d square and moment of inertia for both axes is same, that is Ixx is equal to Iyy is equal to pi by 64 d raised to 4 and y becomes d by 2. So m is equal to p into e. Now consider, that is sigma 0 is equal to sigma b. So sigma 0 becomes p by a, that is p divided by pi by 4 into d square is equal to m value is p into e divided by moment of inertia is pi by 64 d raised to 4 and y becomes d by 2. By simplifying this equation, means p get cancel, pi get cancel, d square and this d and this d raised to 4 cancel. The remaining term is E is equal to this d on the denominator side, on the upper move on the left side, so it becomes numerator and that's 64 divided by 8, that is 8. So eccentricity E becomes d by 8. So limit of the eccentricity is d by 8 from the origin O. So this is the d by 8 on the x-axis on the right side, on the left side, on the y-axis on the upper side and on the lower side. Join these all points by using radius as d by 8 and draw a circle. Within this portion, when whatever the load acting on this portion, the stress produced in this section is totally compressive. There is no tension condition. So that section or that portion called as core of the section or kernel of the section. For this condition is called as no tension condition or zero tension condition. By using this condition, we can find out the core of the section or kernel of the section. Thank you.